everybody for coming, first off. We're going to be talking about giving to live. That's what we're talking about, giving to live. So just think about it. Have you ever known anyone, I'm sure you have, that's my assumption anyway, that have been in need of goods and services that some of these things we take for granted. And people, right next door to us or down the street, they're hungry. They may need clothing. I'm talking about basic needs. And I know, this time of year, we think about other people. Hopefully, we give thought to other people that are in need. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about giving to those less fortunate than we are. All right, and we're not talking about necessarily, giving money all the time or anything of that nature. It could be clothing. It could be something that you have in your garage, that you have in your closet, that you may not have seen or used in 3 months or 6 months. So, when we think about it, this problem that we're going to talk about touches all of us in some form or fashion. I mean, think about it. When you leave today, this is a very, very good chance that you'll drive past someone who's homeless, all right, who doesn't have a place to live, a place to call home. Just something to think about. And I think about my wife and I in our situation about 15 years ago. We were homeless. We didn't have a place to live. And there's an organization called the Neighborhood Christian Centers that really, really assisted us, helped us out with some, again, basic, practical things. And so that is the organization that I actually want to talk to you about on today, because this organization has been in existence for almost 40 years. They are located in Memphis, Tennessee, and they've helped a lot of people. And I'm talking about thousands upon thousands of people, not only in the city of Memphis, but also in the surrounding areas. So there are 3 things that we're going to touch on. We're going to be talking about the need for the basics, being food, shelter, and clothing, how real it is in this city, in this country. We're going to be talking about how you can help, and we're going to be talking about the results from you giving if you choose to do so. Simple and to the point. I accessed the website feedingamerica.org about a month ago and put up some stats that, to be honest with you, they kind of threw me. It's staggering to know the amount of people in this country that go hungry every day. Okay, 49.1 million Americans go to sleep hungry every day in this country. Okay, now that's 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7 people. Now think about how many people you know personally. And a lot of times, people that you're looking right across the table at, people you spend time with, people at work, they're not eating like they should. The term that's used usually is food insecure. Okay? 26% of African Americans, 10% of Caucasians in this country go hungry every day. Every day. In every county, just think about this, in every county, in every state in this country, somebody is hungry. They go hungry, and it's every day. So these are some of the things that we're going to be looking at and we're going to be talking about. All right, because we know, in just about every major city in this country, we have organizations that help people that need the food, that need the clothes, they need transportation, they need a roof over their heads. They need these things in every major city. But one in particular that we know of personally meets the total need of man. And that is the Neighborhood Christian Centers, because what they do is they minister to people, all right? And they minister very practical things, really in a very similar way that Jesus did. Jesus provided men and women with what they need. He met them right where they were at the time, and he provided them with exactly what they needed. And the Neighborhood Christian Center, these are the things that they do, all right? And again, my wife and I, my family, we know firsthand. We've seen it. We've experienced it. And my wife actually worked for the Neighborhood Christian Center for a couple of years. So again, we know firsthand. We volunteered. We've had an opportunity to do some things to really help a lot of people and to help this organization to help others. So we really want to encourage you guys on today to help out wherever you can. And one of the things that we did, we accessed the ncclife.org website, which is the website for the Neighborhood Christian Centers, just to see some of the things that they are doing even now today, for the holidays especially. For Christmas, they are feeding 10,000 families in the Memphis, Tennessee area. Think about that. We're not talking about 10,000 people, 10,000 families. They're providing over 1,000 children with toys for Christmas. Now, according to Dr. Joanne Ballard, Dr. Joanne Ballard is actually the founder and the senior advisor for the Neighborhood Christian Centers. Years ago, when she first started the Neighborhood Christian Centers, what she would do, she would just try to get women in her neighborhood to go to church with her. But a lot of the women wouldn't go with her because they would say they didn't have anything to wear. So she began going and picking up clothes, even using some of her own clothes to help clothe these women so that they would feel comfortable just going to church. And so that's how the Neighborhood Christian Center actually got started. I mean, just think about that. That's very practical. That's something that any of us can do, right? You know, I'm thinking of some things that I haven't worn in 3 months. I'm thinking about them right now that somebody else could be in need of, that they are in need of, and I could help to provide that need, you know, for a man or a family, some young men. So, you know, that's one thing that Dr. Ballard shared, that as far as her getting started and what she really desired to do in her heart, just to help people, because she saw people hurting. And she simply didn't want people to continue hurting, knowing she had the strength, she had the power to do something about it. And so you guys, you have that same opportunity. So the Neighborhood Christian Centers, one of the other things they do, they teach classes to lower income families. They'll teach you how to fill out job applications. They will also teach you, they have classes to teach you how to handle your finances, which we know is very important. Because sometimes, you know, when you're just giving somebody something, it may help them out for that day, or maybe even that week. But sometimes people simply need to be taught how to handle their finances so they can do what? So they can help themselves long term. So that's something else that the Neighborhood Christian Center does. And also in Memphis, the Neighborhood Christian Center has 5 full-time satellite centers right in the city. And many of them, they're in some of the most drug-infested, crime-ridden areas of the city. And what they do is they mentor children in those areas. So if you have an apartment complex, they'll have an actual apartment that they have rented out, and they will set it up, and everybody knows that's a satellite center, and they come, they get food, they get clothing, they get whatever they need. They have classes there. They do tutoring and mentoring, and it's absolutely awesome. And actually, my wife used to run one of those centers when she worked for the Neighborhood Christian Center in Memphis. So it's absolutely incredible, you know, what they're doing. So what we're hoping, what we're asking is that you make a decision. That you make a decision to help out however or wherever you can. All right, it may be your time. You may desire to volunteer. You know, they're looking for people to adopt families for Christmas right now. Okay, you may want to give your money to help in that way. All right, so whether it's your time, your money, your resources, you can assist if you choose. And it just really starts with the decision. Okay, so you can call the Neighborhood Christian Center. You can go to their website, NCC Life, and you can either call them directly. You can, if you want to give money, any major credit card online, you can use that to give that way. And not that you would travel to Memphis, which some of you may do that, in order to help out firsthand and to see firsthand what they're doing. It's incredible if you see it firsthand what they're doing. But if you don't desire to do that, you may desire to help in other ways. But the point is, all of us can help in some form or fashion. Okay? So that's what we're talking about. So we know that the Neighborhood Christian Center, they've been in existence for almost 40 years, and they have been consistent in helping people. Okay? So what we've looked at, basically, we've looked at 3 things today. Okay? We looked at the need for the basics and how real it is, because it touches people that we know. And even people that we don't know. Think about this. Many times our tax dollars go to help and fund programs that help other people. Okay? So it does touch each of us in some form or fashion. We've looked at how you can help. Okay? You can contact the Neighborhood Christian Center. You can do it online. You can call them directly. If you have resources that you want to give, they'll come. And if you're in the Memphis or in the Memphis area, they actually come to pick up whatever it is you're desiring to give. Okay? And then we're talking about the results from your giving? Well, you know, I think, my personal opinion, the results are kind of self-explanatory, because we've seen people in need, the state they're in, we've seen them receive what's needed, and then we see a totally different person, okay? And it's absolutely awesome to see that transformation. You know, I think about the transformation, you know, in myself and with my family when we, you know, received the help that we needed, you know, 15 years ago from the Neighborhood Christian Center. So I encourage all of you guys to at least look into it. You know, call the center, take a tour, you know, do whatever you're led to do as far as helping. And they could need your help, or they do need your help, because if you go online right now and you put up their website, you'll see a picture of all this food that they have been collecting for their Christmas baskets, okay? So when I say they're going to feed 10,000, they're going to feed 10,000 families. And when you see their warehouse, and I'm talking about, this building is huge, and it is filled with food from wall to wall and up to the ceiling. And it's absolutely incredible. All right, so in closing, I'll say this. Go to your closet, go to your garage, grab something you haven't seen, you don't use, and just give it. And when you're giving, that is helping someone else to live. Make sense?
Makes sense.
God bless you.
Thank you.